Okay. Hello, welcome to the basement. I have brought over a box, and what is in the box is rather historic. It is for, oh, well, let me tell you a little bit first. My grandfather taught auto mechanics at Danforth Tech from 1930 to 1962. And, of course, in that role, I guess, they did do things on teachers' cars and others to, I mean, you can only look at the same sort of broken down, cut up engine so many times. It's actually interesting to be able to fix something. So here, I guess, are the records of some of years. I will look and see. This is paid to the order of the Toronto Dominion Bank. Hang on. Glasses. Now, even if they were just working on things and tinkering things, they would need to have parts and things. Anyway, paid to the order of the Dominion Bank, Yonge and Gerrard Streets, National Automotive Parts Limited. And here is what something like this looks like. The Bank of Nova Scotia, Danforth and Greenwood. Something Auto Parts. January 22nd, 1935. First teller. A.C. Bradley School account. This is for $10. And I'm not sure why, but for some reason, there's also a Canadian stamp on this. There it is. And it says, it's like through the, it's been skewered by something that says paid. And what do we have here? Scott Glass and Mirror Company. Per somebody. Signed. The Bank of Nova Scotia, Danforth and Greenwood branch. Oh, Canada, excise, 3 cents. Scott Glass and Mirror Company, $4.53. A.C. Bradley, school account, January 21st, 1935. And it has been paid. And there's lots of others of these. Bunches. Oh, maybe these are in order. Maybe they get older as we go down here. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, so they seem to have this little excise stamp thing on them. This one, Milton Kidd, William Hyded, cleared January 16th, 1935. This is Kidd Brothers, $8, $8, A.C. Bradley, school account. So this looks like stuff that my grandfather would have gone out to get when he needed to get parts. It'd be interesting, as I look through here, to see there is a place. I'll have to look through and see. There's a place, and I wish I could find one, but it'll take a little while. Anyway, there's a place that was on Avenue Road called Royal Auto Parts. And I don't know exactly when it started, but it was a long time ago. And basically, my grandfather used to buy parts from them, and then my father bought parts from them, and now my brother and I buy parts from them. Although it's not exactly, it's kind of, it was bought out by somebody, and now it's something else. But the fellow the grandson, who we know, is still doing it. Now most of these are national auto parts. But I would love to find one to Royal Auto Parts. Here's one for 60 cents, National Auto Parts. Paid the order, yeah, same thing. Anyway, I would love to find one here for Royal Auto Parts, just one, that I could pass that on to. The fellow name is Jason Cash. Anyway, it's going to take some searching. It does seem probably the reason. Watson Spring Company Limited. I guess it needed springs. It does seem National Auto Parts. Probably the reason, Cash, that this was the way it was, or done the way it was. Maybe they had not yet managed to find each other, or maybe it was that National Auto Parts was close to the School of National Auto Parts, Young and Gerard. Yeah, that's probably. Hey, this was Danforth Tech. It was, and it would have been downtown, just off the Danforth of all things. Anyway, there are other things in here that have not been explored. Here are little receipt book things, and I guess they would be the same. The other, maybe the other part of this. Like it's like they ripped off, and but it keeps track. National Auto Parts, $7.03. National Auto Parts, 38 cents. Petty cash, $5. So I would suspect. Oh, December 9th, 1935. National Auto Parts, $8.62. And it says Hodge, 47. Maybe that was the kind of car. Anyway, I would suspect Chrysler, 1928 Coburn job. Anyway, what I might do is continue to investigate what's in here. There's another little receipt thing. Oh my. This looks more. What is this? William Kydd, Kydd. Cleared January 26, 1935. Oh, look at all the stuff. Look at how many people had to stamp these things. This was all done by hand before computers. A stamp on the front, 3 stamps on the back. What's it saying here? Cleared. Pay to. And something else. Oh, this is one by the 5th teller. So you can see January 28th, January 28th, January 26th, January 29th. Kid Brothers. Okay, now I'm going to set these things aside in a pile. There seems to be, oh, it's got a rubber band. It's kind of sticky. National Auto Parts. There's something else in here that looks different. Oh, these are earlier. And I think what's happened is there's a rubber band that's come apart and it's sticking them together. The Canadian Bank of Commerce. Oh yeah, rubber band. National Auto Parts, $1.09. A.C. Bradley, school account. So this would have been stuff my grandfather wrote. I never met my grandfather. He died before my brother and I were born. My sister knew him. She was very young when he died. A Canadian Scott something company. Scott Glass and Mirror Company. And you can see how the rubber band has disintegrated and made things kind of sticky here. Now what is this? Mr. A.C. Bradley, school account. The Bank of Nova Scotia, 2-415, Toronto, Ontario. Your statement of account. School account. Yeah, the rubber band has done stuff here, too. But there, I guess that's, I don't know if it's like the monthly update or something. But it speaks of debits and credits. balance. So the balance was started at 95.76 and ended at 87.41. So there were some deposits, some withdrawals. Please examine this statement upon receipt and report at once to the bank any difference found. If no error is reported in 10 days, the account will be considered correct. All items are credited subject to final payment. Wow. All right. Let's see here. That is different. And here, more stuff with the ruined rubber band, 1936 here. Cash, $1.74. National Auto Parts. Okay, I'm going to put these things. These all are much the same. They are, except, wait a second here. This one was a little different. It says the Canadian Bank of Commerce. Oh, this is from 1933. Scott Glass Company, Danforth and Greenwood. So anyway, all the little black marks, that's the rubber band that went astray. So what else do we have in here? Oh, here's a little book. A.C. Bradley School Account. Ooh. Department of Health. Dr. Hazlitt, Lockwood Clinic. Dr. somebody Weston, whatever. But look, I don't know if you can see it, but this is like a embossed thing. The Bank of Nova Scotia. Bank of Nova Scotia. An account with A.C. Bradley School Account. There it is. It's like the bank book. And I suppose, if I were to look inside, maybe this is where he would keep track of things, and then he could check them off as when he got the statement. But I guess that's kind of like an old bank book. All right, that too. Oh, we got more of this stuff. National Auto Parts, 16 cents. The Bank of Nova Scotia. W.P. Ferguson. Oh, this is big. $75. That, back then, was a bunch of money. And look, because it's more. It's got two of those funny stamps on the top. 3 cents. I don't understand those. I should try and find out what it. W.P. Ferguson. $45. National Auto Parts. I would love to find something that says Royal Auto Parts in here, but this is going to take some time. What is this? Ah, Fox Lubricant Company. Oils, greases, and soaps. January the 10th, 1936. Sold to the Danforth Technical School at Greenwood Avenue. What is... Oh, there seems to be... Hang on here. There's something stapled, and I almost might have done damage because I went to kind of give a little tug. Oh, okay, this looks better. Aha, there we are. That is this one opened up nicely. Although, oh yeah, there's a pin through it, like a pin, like a straight pin. January the 2nd, 3 gallons of 10 Foxline Zero Flow .70 for a total of $2.10. 1 quart of Elixir Top Lubricant, $1.25. Grand total, $3.35. Payment received by cash with thanks. January the 10th, 1936. Fox Lubricant Company. And of course the signature is, it looks like C.J. Fox. If this account is paid within 10 days, we allow a 2% discount. 30 days net. So the Fox Lubricant Company, wholesale Is there an address? 108 Merton Street. 227220, which is probably the phone number back then. This was for 5 gallons of number 20 Foxaline Zero Flow. $3.50. The Fox Lubricant Company. I would not suspect that they are still around, but you never know, Anyway, this whole box is loaded with stuff. Here we have Board of Education, Toronto Technical Schools Workbook. And I would bet, there's the alarm clock. This is records of things that my grandfather would have written in his own hand. Petty cash brought forward. 1 lamp bulb, job 20. 1 gallon napsa. I wonder what it says, or if it says anything magical in the very front. 1947 to 48, job number 1. Abel DeSoto, 1935, cash deposit $50. September 29, gaskets, wrist pins, piston rings, connecting rods. October 9th, valve locks, 5 quarts motor oil, chop charge, rad seal gas, heater, March 4th, refund, $3.30. So the grand total is $46.70. And this would have been on a 1935 DeSoto in 1948, 47-48. Job number, Art Brown, Plymouth, 1935. 1 armature exchange. 1 set generator brushes, shop charge, 50 cents. Above items paid for in cash, $5.69. Shop charge should be deposited in the school account, 50 cents. No, I think I missed a page. Job number, Plymouth 1935. Oh no, that's the one. So these are the records that would have been kept. And it's mighty important. Oh, looks like we have some more receipts. Barnes, Battery and Ignition Service Limited. Where were they? Toronto. 350 Danforth. That makes sense. It would be nice, very nice to find something from Royal Auto Parts. Something. Oh, these are all stapled. Barnes. I suppose I could take the staples at Barnes. J.E. Willis Limited, distributors of automotive and industrial supplies. 161 Danforth Avenue. Oh, they have another. They were at 736 St. Clair Avenue West. Danforth Technical. King bolts. Well, this would have been February 11th, 1945. Oh, 49, sorry. These people also had a thing on Church Street. Oh, they had another. Oh, I can't tell because they're all, Blucher. Maybe this was like stuff for all one car. Anyway, once again, I don't want to rip things apart at this juncture. Remember, some of these things, look at this rubber band. It's still kind of got it. I'm going to pull it off. It's alive. Andrew Bradley, school account. Another little one. Andrew C. Bradley, school account. National Auto Parts. Danforth. National Auto Parts. Riverdale Garage. Fred Stratford Limited. Ford something machine company. All right. Let's see if anywhere there's more stuff wrapped up here. Shop petty cash. Oh my. Bunch of receipts and things and stuff. Oh, more bank stuff folded over. I think it's much the same, probably. The Bank of Nova Scotia. Oh. See, I don't know when Royal Auto Parts started. I also don't know National Auto Parts. Cash. I don't know when. See, Royal Auto Parts was just up the street from where we grew up. I don't know for how long it was there. Oh man, these are beaten. Red Indian Service Station. McMahon Brothers, Danforth and Greenwood Tire and Battery Service. From 1936. Looks like they lived a while in a wallet or something. Oh, here's something with carbon paper built in. Oh my. It's pretty fragile. Danforth Technical, Greenwood Avenue. Paid. Hard to tell. Just a simple receipt, but not printed with anything. School. Yeah. Hang on here. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, this has got the carbon paper. No wonder it's hard to see. Danforth Tech School. Maybe it's for gas. 20 cents. Oh, there's so much of it here. Oh my, it's a whole other massive stack. Cash. I guess at some point, cash. National Auto Parts. National Auto Parts. Barnes Brothers. It's just endless. I mean, this is like records and records and records. And remember, some of this would have been during the war, 1935. National Auto Parts. And here, oh, there's the rubber band that's still kind of together. Ow, 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 ow. Maybe this was for a month, or maybe not. Maybe not. Danforth Motor Car Company, 60 cents. So I wonder, part for shackle, grease fittings, for deposit only, to the credit of Danforth Motor Car Company. So I wonder how this worked. Because obviously, it's almost written out like a check. Maybe it is a check. There it is, the Danforth Motor Car Company. Maybe that's what you would do and give it to the people. There you are. And then they would take it to their bank. And then they would put it in, and then it would be stamped by the third teller. And I don't know when. Like, they put on all these little 3-cent things. I don't know if that was tax collected or something. And then I guess it was stamped paid when it was paid. And then, oh, it cleared January 31st, 1946. And when was it done? January 30th. Clear January 31st. Pretty quickly. Anyway, A box of history. Oh, this looks different. What is this? Give electricity. Keep pay. Save electricity. Keep pay envelopes full. Maybe this is something to do with the war. Let's see here. Don't use two lights when one will do. Turn off radio when not listening. A hot water tap leaking 1 drop a second wastes 175 gallons a month. Electricity wasted. Don't forget to turn off porch, basement, attic, garage lights when not needed. Turn off kettles soon as it sings. There's a rubber band here that's stored heat will bring to a boil. Switch off small appliances, toaster, coffee maker, electric, iron, when their job is done. And on the back, well, this looks like it was used, I don't know, maybe to test out a pen or something. Yes, save electricity. Keep pay envelopes full. In other words, don't waste it. And that, more so than ever, is the case now. What do we have here? 1945. G.W. Hogan Limited. Hogan. National Auto Parts. 75 cents. A.C. Bradley. School account. Alright, I'm going to dig deep. And I'm going to look again. What is this? Okay, bank. Here's some receipts. Maybe. I'd love to find one from, oh, it's stapled. It's all stapled together and closed up tight. Danforth something. Alright, well, I don't imagine it's going to hurt anything now if I try and get these staples out. Except it might hurt me. Ow. I should have somewhere. These are good staples. I should somewhere have a staple remover. I should have. There's one here. I wonder, do I have the side of it? Yes, I do. Okay, maybe if I can just get this one out, that will help let me get at something over here. And this is from Danforth Motors Limited, Danforth Technical School, Greenwood and Strathmore. Attention, Mr. Bradley. 1 gallon ethylene glycol antifreeze, $4.75 each. $4.10. Paid 1 gallon. That seems pretty expensive. Anyway, Danforth Motors Limited. Perhaps because these were all together and they all look similar at this moment, maybe they are all from the same place and they were put together so that they could be found together. I will dig deeper. I shall. That looks the same. What's all this? Danforth Motors. Danforth Motors. I would suspect Danforth Motors is no longer there. I would suspect. What is this? Barnes. These look different. Barnes. H. Abbott. McMahon Brothers. National Auto Parts. I'd love to find something. What is this? Something Automotive Surplus Limited. Jobbers and distributors. I'd just love to find one thing from Royal Auto Parts in here. but it's not looking. But mind you, I think they would have. Maybe he just got stuff for school. Oh, what do we got here? We got a book. And it will be an advisory committee is a committee appointed to have control and management of one or more schools to which the Vocational Education Act applies. The members are appointed by the school board or by the Board of Education when there is one. When composed of 8 members, 4 of them shall be appointed from the board and shall include 1 representative of the board of the public school trustees and 1 of the separate school trustees. 2 members who are employees of local industries and 2 who are employees of labor. To qualify for members of advisory committee, they must be British subjects and persons who, in the judgment of the board, are specially competent to give advice and other assistance in the management of the school or department under the charge of the committee. The powers of an advisory committee subject to the approval of the board and the minister are the providing of a suitable site and building and suitable equipment, or the arranging to conduct a school or department in a high, public, separate, or continue. The writing is good, but school, building, or other building in the municipality and prescribing courses of study and providing for each examinations and diplomas. Oh my word. This goes on and on and on and on and on. What is this? Alright. A.C. Bradley. I wonder if there's anything. Maybe this has been when he was studying to become a teacher. I don't know. Theories of school management. Force theory. Force theory is based on the notion that men are not rational. Pupils do not desire to learn. Pupils do not desire to obey. Ultimately, physical force. Yes. Interesting. It says on the front MSS. I wonder what that was. Anyway, certainly this box needs much more exploration. Oh my, look at that. More stuff. National Auto Parts. How is it that everything is one way? National Auto Parts. Kid Brothers. Danforth Motor Car Company Limited. Danforth Motor Car. Andrew C. Bradley School Account. National Auto Parts. The Bank of Nova Scotia. Lyndhurst Motors. National Auto Parts. National Auto Parts. Boy, I guess they would have been close by. And probably, you know what, as they do now, is they deliver. And you must remember, back in the day, when people moved to like North Toronto, they pretty much say goodbye to their relatives and say, well, maybe we'll see you at holidays. And that is not the way it is now. Anyway, at some point, I will continue to explore these records and make sure that some of them, well, I mean, some of them, look at this, some of these are like frameable. And this, look at this vintage bank book. Now, of course, will everything go back in the box? Not really. But I will try. I will try. But no, everything won't really fit in as nicely as it did. So here we have records I don't know from exactly when to where. Well, I guess I could close that up. Anyway, we tripped down memory lane, knowing that for 32 years, my grandfather worked in Toronto schools, and as it happens, I have been working in Toronto schools for 33 years. I never really thought of it that way. Started in 1991. Imagine. Sadly, my grandfather left the school board when he got sick. And supposedly there was some kerfuffle, and I don't know if they wanted to keep on adding more people to his class or doing whatever. But, and I mean, in a class of young people with tools and machinery and things and stuff, there has to be something. I mean, in some schools or some cases, like, how do you well, I mean, okay, if a class has 24 computers, you can really only have 24 people in there because they all need to be doing their thing. Anyway, supposedly there was something or other, and I believe the last day that he was ever at Danforth Tech was on a Friday, and he said, well, I guess the only way I'm going to get I'd have to ask my brother, maybe, I don't know if it was fair working conditions or, reasonable class size or whatever. I guess the only way that's going to happen is if I die. Anyway, he got sick on the weekend. He was never back. Ever. Sad. Anyway. All right. I will continue, and not at this moment, but I will. Oh dear. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I will look through this box, and I will continue to search for things, and I suspect some of this I'll send to Richard, some I'll send to Ruth. See, I'm not one, like, say, for example, I had 3 things that were all part of a collection. I'm not one who would say, oh, well, let's give one to Ruth and one to Richard and one to David, because then, of course, the collection is ruined. If I had 3 collections of 3 things, I would give, like, one whole collection of something to somebody or whatever. And actually, that's the way my grandmother sort of did it before she, when we were cleaning out her apartment, when she was still alive to help us, she had things grouped into groups so that somebody got, for example, I got all the cornflour, which is cornflour is a glass thing that's etched with this cool cornflower pattern. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, in this case, there is so much of this, I don't see that it's a bad thing to spread it around and share it. I don't. And indeed, I suspect what I might do at some point is find a frame of some sort and frame some of all this as a record. I might, and who knows, maybe what I'll end up doing is doing that 3 times, so I have one, Ruth has one, Richard has one, and maybe we can find a picture of my grandfather who I never met and put it in there. But really, if you have a collection of something and then you split it up because you have 3 children, then it really loses its thing, and chances are they'll never be back together again. And it's not really a collection anymore. It's just somebody has one. They say, oh, why do you have that thing? Oh, I don't know. And then things get scattered. So anyway, these things I think are cool. These things. So I may see about figuring out a frame of sorts and things and stuff. And but anyway, there's a lot of this stuff, and who knows? Maybe there are historian people, and maybe I'll even send some to Danforth Technical School, where I have been a couple of times, but not very often. And certainly, there's nobody left there. I mean, it's been 60 years, 62 years since my grandfather left there for the last time. So chances are, would any of his students, well, some of his students, say they were like 18 or 14 or whatever at the time, they could still be alive. They could. Anyway, chances are none of them are still doing mechanical things. All right. Well, that is enough of this box for now. Now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put it. I have been moving stuff upstairs, but not enough as of yet. So I suspect what I'll end up doing is looking at this as I'm watching television sometime, see what I can find that looks interesting and such. Anyway, thanks for coming on this trip down memory lane. Even to this day, teachers in such shop things or whatever, who do things for people, I'm sure more so even than back then, they have to keep very good records because, of course, things happen. And the best way to make sure that nobody thinks that things are happening is to keep good records. So, anyway, thanks for coming to the basement. Have a lovely, lovely day. David Bradley, signing off. Bye for now.